Give y'all a chance to scroll on in here before we dive into the topic for today. Got another sermon for y'all. Gonna be talking about entrepreneurship and bossing up. And kind of like what you need to do before you kind of embark on that journey. Make sure you got some of your ducks in a row. So hopefully everybody Sunday morning starting off peacefully. What's going on, Sweet Tea? How everything going your way? Peace. What's going on, Patrick? Hopefully everything going good with both of you all this morning. Like I said, we got an important topic today, entrepreneurship. It's a lot of people that want to embark on that journey, but they don't know where to begin. They don't know where to start. And making that leap into entrepreneurship can be a life-changing experience. It should be a life-changing experience. What's going on, Lachelle? But if you make that jump incorrectly, it can destroy you. All the way from Las Vegas. How is the pandemic out that way? A lot of cases over there. But I just want to help people make that leap into entrepreneurship, man. I know a lot of people, like I said, are contemplating it. They just don't know where to start, how to begin. A lot of people are sitting on billion-dollar ideas, but they are failing, they are procrastinating in regards to putting those ideas into motion. I mean, what's the harm in at least striving to execute an idea that you have in your mind? Like, what's the worst that can happen? And that's one of the things that they encourage you to kind of figure out or contemplate. What is the worst that can happen if you pursue that entrepreneurial endeavor? 9 times out of 10, that worst thing that can happen is not as bad as we think. So you always got to just kind of figure out what's the worst that can happen if I pursue something that I'm interested in or that I'm passionate about. And especially with the way the world is transitioning now, entrepreneurship is going to be something that I feel like more people will have to become. They will have to become entrepreneurs. It will be by force. So you might as well jump ahead of that curve. Might as well jump ahead of that curve, man. A lot of these jobs, they letting people go. So a lot of people are sitting at home and they got to figure things out. And they thinking about jumping back into the corporate world. That may not be the answer. The answer may be to become self-sufficient. This may have been your blessing in disguise type deal to get let go from that particular job. Like, don't get caught back up in that corporate cycle. Because trust me, it's only going to get worse in the future. It's only going to get worse in the future. You will see more and more jobs letting people go, more and more jobs getting eliminated. More and more people becoming unemployed. So again, that's one of the reasons why I encourage everybody to become an entrepreneur, to become self-sufficient, find something that you are passionate about, interested in. What's going on, TZ Frank? How everything holding up over on your end? But let me dive into the first thing that you want to do in regards to becoming an entrepreneur. The first thing that must be done is you have to figure out your why. Like, that is important. Why must you become an entrepreneur? And this varies from person to person. The why can be strictly financial. Maybe you are in corporate America and you feel limited in regards to your income, and you feel that branching off to entrepreneurship will elevate your income in a way that which corporate America will not be able to. So it may be strictly financial. Maybe freedom is something that you are after. Maybe you want to spend more time with like your kids or your family, and corporate America is hindering that. So maybe you need to be an entrepreneur simply because you value freedom and you want to have more control over your time. So you got to figure out the why. Like, why must you become an entrepreneur? If you don't figure out this why, then more than likely you will take some L's in regards to embarking on your entrepreneur journey. You have to have a strong why in regards to why you must become, or why you need to become, an entrepreneur. Is it a financial why? Is it more about freedom? Is it more about control of like your schedule? Do you need to spend time with the fam? What is your why? Why is entrepreneurship something that you have to do? Why is an entrepreneur something that you have to become? So I want you to contemplate on that first. The why is important. And like I said, it varies from person to person. So it's very important to just figure out that why. And once you figure that why out, you write it down. You write it down as a constant reminder as to why you must grind hard to make sure this is a success. Yeah, and if it revolves around just leaving a legacy, something to pass down for your children to inherit, then that's another why. Like I said, everybody why could be different. I was reading a book that said, for the most part, the main reason why people strive to become entrepreneurs is freedom. Being able to go on vacations when you please and things of that nature. Not having to get time off approved and stuff like that, man. So a lot of people value the freedom. Controlling the schedule, controlling their time and things of that nature. So that was like the main reason, or the main why that people had in regards to why they must become entrepreneurs. So again, like I said, it's gonna be relative to the person. I know on my end, I'm after freedom. I'm after freedom, and then the portion that you mentioned, like I want stuff to pass down. It's about legacy. You can't pass down that good job to that child. So I'm after legacy. I'm after freedom. I want to be able to control and make my own schedule. I want to be able to say, all right, this weekend or this week, I'm gonna travel here. Like, I'm able to have that power because I'm more in control of my schedule. I don't have to ask anybody, can I miss a day because of inclement weather? Like, I don't have to use vacation time when the weather is so bad and I don't feel like driving it, and then little stuff like that. Like, little things like that is the reason why I said, man, I must become an entrepreneur. So you got to figure out your why. That's number one. Before you even figure out what the actual idea is that you want to manifest, you must have that why figured out. Now, the second thing that you must do once the why is figured out, now it's time to brainstorm. It's time to get the pen and the paper out. And this is where you kind of lay the framework down in regards to what it is, what idea it is that you are going to manifest in regards to like the business idea. And then this is where you kind of figure out what it is that you definitely, for a fact that you don't want to do. So when you get the pen and the paper out, it's time to brainstorm. You start off with, what are you passionate about? What are some things that interest you? What are some things that you are naturally good at? Now, once you figure those things out, now you say, okay, what type of environments do I like to work in? What type of environments do I not like to work in? What type of people do I see myself working with? Or what type of people do I like to work with? Then you ask yourself, what type of people do I not like working with? Or do you have to embark on something that requires you to kind of work solo dolo because you don't like working with groups of people? You don't like working with a team. You'll rather work to yourself or by yourself. That is important to figure out. So you got to really figure out what it is that you like and what it is that you dislike, and you jot everything down on that piece of paper. Like, this is crucial. This is crucial. Just it's time to do a self-assessment. So you got to really weigh your likes and dislikes, and you got to really jot them down, and you got to look at them, and you got to evaluate to come up with this wonderful idea. Like, what is it? What are some in regard, and then jot those ideas down too. You want to jot the ideas down, like the business ideas, like I said, the $1 billion ideas that a lot of people are sitting on. You want to jot them down as well. And I don't care how silly they may sound in your head, just jot them down so you can look at them, so you can weigh everything accordingly. So it's very crucial to get those likes, those dislikes, just to kind of figure out what type of idea or business model you will have to follow that'll be more suitable towards your personality type. So that's a very important step. Start off with the passion, the interest, things that may intrigue you, things that you are naturally good at. And then from that list, this is where you're going to start figuring out what the actual idea is that you are going to manifest and turn into your business or your entrepreneurial endeavor. From that list, you need to narrow it down to that one thing, the one thing that you would do free of charge. Like this is common business advice. What is the one thing that you would do for free? We should all have that. We should all have that one passion, that one thing that we would do for free. Once you figure that out, that is going to be the business idea that you are going to manifest into the physical form and generate your wealth from. But you got to figure it out. You got to figure out, what is that passion? What is that interest? What is something that intrigues you? What is that natural skill or ability that you possess that you would do for free? Like, no questions asked. So from that list of interests, passions, and things that intrigue you, again, narrow that down to that one thing. A lot of times the problem is we try to be like a jack of all trades, and we try to come up, we got all these ideas and we try to pursue all of them. Like, we may have 5 things that we are passionate about or interested in, and we try to pursue all 5. You don't want to do that. You want to narrow it down. You want to specify, and you want to specialize. So that'll be step number 2 after you figure out the why. After you figure out why you must become an entrepreneur, then you step to step 2, which would be brainstorming, which would be, again, figuring out what it is you're passionate about, thing that you would do for free. Then you figure out what type of environments do you like to work in? What type of environments do you not like to work in? What type of people do you like to work with? What type of people do you not like to work with? And things of that nature. What type of hours do you see yourself working? That's also important. Then you can even factor in like just time off, like all of that. And then another piece to that puzzle, in regards to, like, after you figure that out, after you brainstorm, then another thing that I came across in a book, it's called Social Media Made Me Rich. Another thing that he had people do in that book was that you pretty much got to figure out how much it will cost you to live the life that you envision yourself living. And they say factor in everything, like what type of car do you see yourself driving? And again, this is not encouraging people to be materialistic, but it gives you something to like measure and aim for. So it's like, figure out the type of car that you want to drive. What type of home do you see or house do you see yourself living in? What do you think that you would spend on groceries each month, clothing, vacations, like gym memberships, et cetera, anything that you would spend money on consistently? Jot it down, figure out how much it'll cost you monthly. And once you figure that out, now you got to gauge on, okay, this is what I need to generate on a monthly basis in order to maintain this way of living. So after you do figure out your why, and after you figure out what it is that you would do for free, and then you figure out kind of like the environment and things of that nature, and the people that you like to work with and don't like to work with, then you want to map out what it will cost for you to maintain the way of life that you have envisioned for yourself. And you want to include everything, like everything, whatever it is that you spend money on consistently, or that you would want to spend money on consistently in the future. And aim high. Don't sell yourself short. Don't settle. Aim for the stars, man, and beyond. So if you feel like it's a car that you want, like your dream car, put it on there. Like your dream house, put it on there. You want to incorporate everything. Like if you spend money, like me, I spend money on books, so you want to include that. So that's going to give you a good number to just kind of aim for. Say, okay, this is what I need to generate monthly. So you really need to figure out that monthly number that is going to cost you to maintain the standard of living that you envision for yourself. And this could be for your future self. It don't have to be your standard of living now. This could be for your future self 5 years from now. You just want to have a number that you are striving for and that you are aiming for. So that's very important. So you want to jot all of that down, figure out your numbers. And then from that, so now we got a good framework going. So we done figured out our why. We done figured out what it is that we will actually be offering in regards to a product or service, because we done figured out what we'll do for free. So we got this figured out, and we figured out what type of environment we can work in, what type of people we don't want to work with, what type of hours we want to work. We done figured this all out, and then we done figured out what it would cost for us to maintain the way of life that we've envisioned for ourselves. So now we can get basically into the meat of it, which is kind of figuring out the product or the service that we will offer, or products and services that we will offer that revolve around this passion, this interest, or this natural skill and ability. And from that, we have a multitude of things that we can offer from like an entrepreneurial standpoint. It's so many different ways to profit off of like our ideas, our passions, our skills, our abilities, et cetera, et cetera. So many different things that we can offer, whether it just be talking about your passion on YouTube. I mean, you can coach, you can do consulting, you can do affiliate marketing. So it's all a matter of, okay, just figuring out what you are more comfortable with. And that goes back to when I talked about the environment, just figuring out what type of environment you want to work in, what type of people you want to work with. So if you, within that, you are the type of person that needs to operate around a team, then you know first and foremost that you are going to be pretty much creating a business that revolves around you working with other people. If you're more private, more solo, then you know you will be doing something more behind the scenes, maybe one-on-one coaching and things of that nature. Maybe you will be more comfortable with YouTube and just talking about your passion in regards to, or in opposed to working with people directly. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you don't want to work with people on a one-on-one coaching basis. So it's best for you to just sit back and talk about it, create like a podcast around it. Or maybe affiliate marketing is your thing where people don't even know you really behind it. So that's just, it's so many different products, man, that you can create, man. Like if public speaking is your thing, like if you want to speak to the public, like you could do live events. And now we can do virtual events and things of that nature, man. You can always adapt and adjust in regards to the times that we are living in. So whatever it is that you will be offering, you got a multitude of different ways that you can actually offer that particular passion or that skill. It's just a matter of like figuring out what's comfortable for you and what's not comfortable for you. What's going on, Eli? Yeah, most definitely, man. We should all be striving to leave the world better than we came in it. We should all be striving. We should all be striving to do that. Yeah, and for the most part, when I was coming up with my why, it wasn't really even about the money. Like when you pretty much love what you do, the money is gonna come, like the wealth is gonna come. It was more so about me doing something that's not as stressful and me just having freedom and just waking up liking or loving what I'm doing, opposed to me waking up just dreading what I'm doing. And I know how impactful stress is on my health. So like just waking up, not enjoying what you're doing, hating what you're doing, like that's tearing you down, that's killing you. So like I could no longer accept that reality. So I had to get up out of the game because I knew that was tearing up my health. So that's one of the reasons why I had to make my exit plan, man. I had to execute that exit plan because it was just destroying my health, man. And I'm big on health. So like if your line of work, like if you're doing something that's not conducive to your overall health and well-being, then I'm always encourage you to get on up out of there and do something that's elevating your health, that's less stressful. The money will come later. Like your health is more important than that money. Again, if you enjoying what you're doing, like I said, the money will come later. You'll be more relaxed. You'll be more motivated. You will be more healthy. So you'll have more energy. So you'll be able to be more productive. But when you factor all of that into the equation, then of course, like everything else will follow from that, as long as you keep a positive mentality towards it. But for the most part, I mean, it's a lot. It's people out here that they strive to become entrepreneurs for financial reasons, and that was also, just factoring in, just looking at corporate America. It's like you can cap out a lot of the times, man. They're not really gonna pay you what you worth. When you become an entrepreneur, there's really no limit as to what you can make, and it all rides on you for the most part. It's about how bad do you want it. A lot of people don't like that responsibility because basically, if your business fails, then it's pretty much on you. Like you didn't want it bad enough. Like if my gym fails, it's on me. I didn't want it bad enough. I didn't want to go out there grind and get the clients that I needed. Like that's all on me because it's people that need my service. It's people that need your service. It's people that need the product that you're thinking about right now. It's people that need that. It's all about how bad do you want to find those individuals and how bad do you want to push that product on them and push that service on them. Which we can segue into kind of like the next step once you done just kind of figured out what it is that you want to do, what product or service that do you want to offer, or products and services do you want to offer. Now it's time to pretty much figure out who your target market is. And this, to me, honestly, this is one of the major reasons why businesses tend to fail and entrepreneurs tend to fail. It's the marketing. It's the marketing. And that's what I actually got my degree in. But I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of businesses fail because they do not properly design or construct a marketing strategy. So we can come up with the product and the service that we will be offering. And we just feel like off the strength of us being good at what we do, everything should sell based off of that. And that's not how it goes, man. We already know that. It's a psychological aspect that comes with selling and sales. It's a psychological aspect that comes with it. People just, for the most part, people just not going to purchase your product just off the strength of you saying that you are good at what you do. You gotta convince people to purchase your product, to purchase your service. Like, people just not going, oh, okay, cool, dude wrote this book, I'm gonna just purchase it off the strength of he said this about himself. Like, nah, it's gonna take a lot more work than that. That's why these corporations, that's why they study the consumer's mind. Like, it's whole departments with the objective to breaking down the consumer. Why do people purchase what they purchase? Studying the habits of consumers. Like, it's people that get paid to study this. They need to know why we buy what we buy. So it's a lot of science behind that. So you really have to figure out, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as someone that's self-employed, first and foremost, you have to figure out who your target market is. Who is it that needs the product or the service that you are offering? Who needs it the most? Then once you figure out, like, I mean, you want to get specific with this individual. Like, you want to get them down to a T, get the age range, what it is that they like, what it is that they dislike, what social media platform do they use the most? Like, then even just get emotional with it. Like, what are some triggers that they have? Like, what makes them sad? What makes them happy? What makes them angry? What makes them depressed? Like, all of that. You want to factor all of that in. You want to create the ideal customer. And I recommend creating 2 versions of them depending on the product and service. So I typically create a male and a female customer, ideal customer. So you definitely want to figure out that target. You want to figure out that target market, that target customer. And like I said, I recommend 2 of them. Then you want to figure out where this group populates. So you created this target customer. It's not just one of them. It's a group of people that fit this bill. And you want to figure out where those people populate. Then you need to find a way to get your message in front of them. So let's just say if your target market populates mostly on Facebook, now you need to go to Facebook, create the fan page, create an ad, and direct your message toward that specific target. And you need to get them to your page. Once you get them to the page, now it's time to pump out relevant content. And you continue to pump out the relevant content. So now they're looking at the page. They're like, okay. Let's just say you into mental health. And your target audience or your target market will be people that battle depression. So, okay, you put your message out. You get these people to this Facebook page. You get them on the Facebook page. Then you start creating the content in regards to ways to combat depression. So they seeing this. So they taking all the juice from the Facebook page and they implementing some of the juice and some of the advice that you dropping on that page, and it's helping them. So now that's building up that trust. And that's crucial in regards to getting them to pretty much support you financially in regards to your endeavors. So once you build up that trust, now you still been sitting on this idea of the service. You just not coming out the gate offering it to them yet. And you don't want to do that. You want to build up that trust. So you building up that trust for months by dropping that relevant content. Once you get to the point where you done had this page up and running for some months, dropping this content, now it's time to hit them with basically your low level product. So now you done gave them all this content, all this game. Some people offer a freebie. I say just offer something for the cheap. So it's like, okay, I got all the people that's battling depression on this Facebook. Been giving them content for some months. Now I'm gonna offer you this $3.99 ebook, 5 ways to alleviate depression, or whatever you want to title it as. Okay, so that's $3.99. So boom, most of the people that's been supporting the page, they purchased the ebook. So once again, they read the ebook, digest it, they implement it, and it's really helping them alleviate their symptoms of depression and things of that nature. It's elevating their mental health. So it's like, cool. The end of that ebook, you may have several other products. You may have clothes, you may have different pieces of apparel and all type of things at the end of this book. And you also may have your high-end service, which could be like coaching, which could be one-on-one coaching, or you could be promoting a live event, or you can be promoting like a webinar or seminar, whatever it is. Your high ticket item could be at the end of this ebook. And then from them purchasing this $3.99 ebook, now you got a multitude of things that you didn't offer at the end. And for the most part, like they said, if somebody willing to spend money with you once, they willing to spend money with you again. So from that, let's just say a couple thousand purchase the ebook. You can even slice that in half. If it's 1,000, then let's say 500, or let's just say 250. Let's just say 250 willing to purchase this webinar, like willing to sign up for this webinar that you may be offering or that you offered at the end of the book in regards to coaching them on ways to really get rid of the depression. That's 250, and let's just say you offering that for like $99.99. You just made 24,000 just off of that $3.99 ebook. So like that's crucial. It's crucial, but you really got to figure out the target market and who needs exactly what it is that you offer. Eli, depends on what you're doing in regards to taking money to make money. It really depends. Back in the day, that was more so true. Nowadays, like it's easy to kind of get things started without money for the most part. You may need a little bit, but you definitely don't need as much as you once did to get things going. But in some cases, it does still take money to make money. It just depends. Like once you start on your entrepreneurial journey and you are looking to elevate, then you are pretty much going to have to invest in yourself to kind of branch off and do bigger and better things. Like then it will take some money. But to start off, it doesn't take as much money as people think. But it just depends on what it is that you are striving to do. And what's going on, Quez? Hey, I appreciate that, bro. What's going on, Montel? Yeah, so like I said, man, one of the main reasons why businesses fail, a lot of entrepreneurs fail, is the lack of marketing. People don't put a lot of energy and effort into a marketing strategy, and that's crucial. A lot of people don't even know who their target market is. They don't know who they're talking to. If you don't know who you are talking to, then you are just destined to fail. So you need to know exactly who it is that you are talking to, exactly who it is that needs what it is that you have to offer. That is of the utmost importance. Like that is very important. So once you figure out, once you figure out the product or the service, products or services that you will be offering, then once you get the target market and all that figured out, man, now you pretty much good to roll. It's just a matter of putting things into motion at that particular point. Everything else will fall in place. But you don't want to start this endeavor without figuring out that target market. That's pretty much the last step. Once you figure out that target market, then now it's time to put things in motion. And you pretty much ready to roll from that particular point. Of course, it's going to be rough, rocky in the beginning. You're going to have to do a lot of trial and error, and you're going to learn as you go type deal. But that's all cool. That's all cool. You got to start though. You can't just keep sitting on these ideas and waiting for the perfect time to make that leap, because there is no perfect time to jump out and do your own thing. There is no perfect time for it. It's going to always be a risk. It's going to always be a sacrifice. So the longer you wait, the longer you procrastinate, the more that you are not likely to pursue the endeavor. What's going on, Apollo? Yeah, solopreneur. So you need to find a lifestyle, increase the dividend portfolio, bring new lottery plan method to the industry. Those are 3 good reasons, especially the dividend portfolio. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing my thing too. I want to start investing more. And I'm a dividend investor, so I like dividend investing. So that's my form of investing. So that's one of the reasons why I got to strive to increase my revenue so I can invest more. I want to sit back and be able to chill and collect the dividend payments. Yeah, you got a pretty well-defined niche there. You got a pretty good niche and target market. So yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah, this was where a lot of people have trouble. A lot of people, they want to try to target everybody, and that's a mistake. You don't want to try to target everybody. You need to narrow it down. You need to talk to a specific group of people. You can't trying to reach everybody, you will fail. Trying to please everybody, you will fail. You can't worry about pleasing everybody when it comes to business, when it comes to pursuing your entrepreneurial endeavor. You can't worry about pleasing everybody. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Narrow it down. If you got to exclude some people, exclude them. Like if that's what you got to do, then that's just what you got to do. But definitely do not try to include everybody. Don't. That's a big mistake that people make. Like if you're doing something that revolves around apparel, like clothes, you say, well, I'm targeting everybody that wear clothes. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a certain lifestyle that should be associated with your brand, with your apparel. This lifestyle should be pursued by a certain group of people. Who are those people? It's not everybody. That apparel should make a certain group of people feel a certain type of way when they put on the apparel. You must figure out who those people are. Your services are not needed by everyone. They are needed by a specific group of individuals. Who are those individuals? Once again, it's important to figure that all out. Like it's important. Like I said, though, once you get that figured out, you pretty much ready to roll. So I feel like I didn't pretty much touched on basically what you need to do when you are thinking about embarking on an entrepreneurial journey. I feel like I done touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. I mean, if you all have any questions, feel free to ask away. You got any concerns, go ahead and express them. So I'm gonna leave it up for about a minute or two, see if people got any questions, just things they want to say, get off their chest. I'm here for it. I'm gonna look you up, man. Magic City Lotto. Man, this is a this is a pretty solid business idea, man. Lottery analyst. Yeah, lead generation, but a lot of people don't even. I say lead generation goes hand in hand with marketing because that's once I started. Yeah, once I started my bit, like I can generate leads in my sleep. Like I didn't figure out how to. It's pretty much like copywriting and things of that nature. So I done figured out how to generate leads with ease. So if you got like a brick and mortar business, I can guarantee you I can get you a bunch of leads. I know how to do that. And to me, Facebook was like my go-to in regards to generating leads for the business. I like Facebook for that. Like that, the Facebook ads, powerful tool. Lottery business plans, man. I've never actually heard of anybody doing what it is that you are saying that you do. So you are in a very well-defined niche. What's going on, Miriam? Miriam, appreciate it. All right, Quez. So you trying to build multiple streams of income. So you're thinking about doing insurance. All right. So if you're trying to build multiple streams of income, and then you're thinking about doing insurance, like what else are you pretty much like thinking about doing? Like what other ideas do you have right now? Or what other opportunities do you have? And then what are some things that you like to do? What are some things that you are interested in? And Eli, the answer to that question, it depends. It depends on, like, some people thrive off of like owning a business. Some people they are not designed for that. So like some people cannot be business owners. Some people don't like managing people. So if you feel like you're one of the ones that really don't care to like manage people and deal with other people, then I would say invest in other businesses. But if you can see yourself managing other people, or if you got something that you like to do that may involve you having to manage people and deal with other people, and pretty much start your own business from that idea or that passion or that interest or that craft, then I'll say pursue that. But if you feel like you don't have a natural ability, if you feel like you're not really passionate about anything like that, if you don't really have a strong interest, then I would say stack the money and invest with other businesses, or just become an investor pretty much. Yeah, people don't understand that an investor, I mean, that's being self-sufficient. Like you don't have to own a business to be an entrepreneur. You can be an investor. And if that is the way for it, like if that's the way for you, then I recommend it. Like that's one of the ways for me, because I'm not a fan of like working with large groups of people. That's not my thing. So a lot of the stuff that I have to do, I got to do it solo dolo. Like I'm not a fan of like dealing with teams of people. Like you can't really trust a lot of people. So I don't operate like that. That's why I would do something like YouTube. That's why I got my gym to where like when I'm there, I'm making the money based off of me training, and then investing is something that would suit me. Again, like I'm not the type that's going to be able to run like a massive corporation or like even a small business, because I really don't care to manage people like that. But Quez, I know some people that do insurance and things of that nature in regards to the question that you had for me. So I know some people that do insurance, but like I said, if you can use doing insurance as a tool to kind of generate other sources of income, then I definitely recommend doing that. Big and tall fashion, man. You got like a logo or anything? You got like a brand, like a name for the brand? And then investing, is it all you got to do is figure out what form of investing will be more suitable to you. Like I like dividend investing. And that's basically when you get like a small payment for investing in a company, and you get it like every quarter. So the more shares that you own in that company, the higher the dividend payment will be at the end of the quarter. I like that form of investing because you get something in return for purchasing shares, and it's a small amount. But again, the more money you invest, the higher the dividend payment will be. So that's my favorite form of investing. Some people like day trading and stuff like that. So you really just need to figure out what form of investing will be more suitable to you. And then just kind of learn about it a little bit, and then just get started with it. Like it don't take nothing to get started in investing, man. I created like an Ameritrade account in a matter of minutes. Like once I read about it, I got a book about dividend investing. And once I read about it, like literally right after I put down the book, I was on Ameritrade opening my account. And then in regards to what companies you should invest in, like it's just whatever you like. So they say invest in what you know. So like some stuff I knew about, like I worked in banking, so I knew a lot about the banking industry. So I was looking up shares in banks, in banking companies and whatnot. And then I also knew what type of clothing I like. Like at that particular time, I was wearing a lot of Nike. So I was looking up I was looking up Nike shares. So invest in what you know. So whatever it is that you already pretty much invest in, just look to invest in some shares in those particular companies. So that's where you really start. Like, just invest in what you know. Buy some shares in some things that you already pretty much invest in right now. Yes, sir. Yep. Follow that one course until successful. Then you can move on to the next thing. That's definitely the best formula. But yeah, Quez, if you got like a name, get a name for that brand, get a logo, and I could actually shoot you some information in regards to how to get started on that. Yeah, it's plenty of sites, man, where you can easily offer your product and service and get the ball rolling on that now. Then once you kind of create the business plan for your big and tall fashion, obviously you already pretty much got a target market. Just got to figure out where to find large groups of those individuals, get them all in one place, and then put your product in front of them. But yeah, investing is not, I mean, again, it's going to be one of those trial and error things. You're not going to become a master investor overnight, but once you just kind of figure out the strategy that's suitable to you, that's comfortable to you, like once you commit to learning that strategy, like you're going to be good to roll. Just don't try to do all types of investing. Don't try to be a day trader and a dividend investor and all that type of stuff. Don't do that. Stick to one. Stick to one strategy. If you want to be a real estate investor, be that, but don't be trying to be a real estate investor and a dividend investor. Don't try to do that. So I think with the big and tall fashion and investing, man, you already got two things right there. The big and tall fashion, that's a lifestyle brand. So you got that. All you got to do is get those people into one place, man. You got to get them on one platform in one place, and you just got to keep putting out content to them, and then put your product, introduce that product to them. So you get all the people that's in the big and tall fashion. Let's just say, for instance, on Facebook, you get them all onto this Facebook page, man, and you put out relevant content to them. You know what the big and tall fashion enthusiasts like and dislike. So you just put out content, put out the content for them, pump it out, build up that trust, and then boom, you launch your product on them or products. And then you just sit back and watch the sales come in. But yeah, from right there, you don't let's just say you start off with insurance and you got the big and tall fashion. That's already two. And then you got investing. So that's three sources of income. And I would say start off with the dividend investing to keep it simple. Yeah, so with that being said, man, like I said, I feel like I touched on everything that I feel like you all need to do in the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey. You have a lot to just figure out, but it's not a thing, man. You just got to sit down with that pen and paper and your thoughts, man. You just got to manifest. Got to manifest a lot of things, man. That's it, man. Just got to spend time with yourself. Spend time with your thoughts. Yeah, Quest, come up with that name, man. That name is crucial. That name is crucial. Get that name, get that logo. then get it trademarked and all that good stuff. Yeah, so today that ought to be your homework for today, man. Just sit down and just jot down names, man. Anything that come to mind, just jot it down. Make a list of potential names for your particular brand. And then you can even kind of do, like a lot of people, keyword research. So you can go to like Uber Suggest and just see what people type in regards to the lifestyle. In regards to the lifestyle that you are promoting. So you can go to like ubersuggest.com because it's a free keyword research tool. And you could just type in things that's kind of related to big and tall fashion and just see what people are like typing in. That can actually help you come up with ideas for like a name. So I recommend doing that. But definitely want to get a name, man. Within like the next few days, man, you want to come up with a name. And then you can outsource creating a logo. You can find somebody else, man. You can go on these websites, what is it, like upwork.com or something like that, man, or yeah, like upwork.com, man. You can find freelancers, man, to make you a logo, man. I even got somebody that can make a logo for you, so you don't have to stress yourself with that one. But definitely get that name and that logo, man. That's the homework, man. Within the next 2-3 days, you ought to have a name, and then you ought to be in the process of getting that logo made. Because you already got a solid idea, man. It's time to put the thing into motion. And then you want to sit down, you want to describe your ideal client, ideal customer, I should say. Who would be the main purchaser of your product? You need to jot that person down, man. Give them a name and everything. Okay, yeah, it don't even matter. Like if you got friends that do it, like it don't even matter, man. Just if you want to do it, I'm just all about trying to make the work a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to try to stress ourselves in regards to like doing everything in the beginning. But however you want to get it done, just get it done. As long as you get it done, that's the most important thing. But we ain't about to be sitting on that idea no longer, man. We ain't about to be sitting on that idea much longer. It's time to actually make it become a physical reality. Like it started with the word, you done spoke it. Now it's time to make it exist in the physical realm. But then you good to roll then. You good to roll. Yeah, so within the next 2 to 3 days, you should have most of this figured out then. You should have most of this figured out. Yeah, so like I said, man, I think I gave y'all a good basic framework in regards to a model that you need to follow before you begin to embark on this entrepreneurial journey. Just some little light things to figure out before you make that dive, before you make that leap. With that being said, man, I got some things I got to accomplish on this wonderful Sunday. So you all have a peaceful rest of the day. Stay healthy, stay positive, stay productive. I'm out, y'all. Peace.